We know about unrest in Tibet thanks to eyewitness reports, but inside China, it's virtually impossible to find any news about Tibet, even with an internet connection. Now, Canadian researchers have found a way for people to access internet sites their government doesn't want them to see. The CBC's Ron Charles reports.
The internet is full of videos showing protests in Tibet and the Chinese government's reaction. This video was viewed almost 240,000 times by people all over the world. But not likely by many in China or Tibet. The Chinese government is using filtering technology to try to prevent its people from watching videos like this.
They're selectively blocking access to content and services around the time of critical events, like in this case a demonstration, when it matters most.
And the world knows about that thanks in part to Professor Deibert's team, tucked away in a basement computer lab at the University of Toronto. Members of the Citizen Lab monitor attempts by governments around the world to censor the internet. Team member Nart Villeneuve logs on to the Yahoo search engine's China site. He types in Tibet. What comes up are mostly official Chinese government websites, nothing about protests here.
I enjoy uncovering the filtering systems for sure, and it's also, I find it's really helpful because it helps us make better circumvention software. It helps confirm a lot of times what activists in these countries are saying, but no one believes them.
The lab has come up with a way for people in places like China to see what their governments don't want them to on the internet. It's a computer program called psiphon that lets people in freer countries lend their web access to people living under censorship.
So it's a way to, in effect, tunnel through the firewalls beneath the radar in a very private manner within social networks of trust without having the authorities know what's going on.
Deibert says net censoring and filtering have increased regularly since the lab started monitoring 6 years ago. He says it shows the internet is not always the beacon of freedom many people believe it to be.
But that communications environment is being degraded seriously now, such that a person in Tunisia experiences a much different internet than someone here in Canada or in Tibet or in Uzbekistan. It's being carved up, colonized, and militarized.
The people in this lab say they are committed to coming up with more ways to fight the battle, one click at a time. Ron Charles, CBC News, Toronto.
Prime Minister Harper will be in Bucharest next month for a meeting of NATO leaders, hoping to secure more troops for southern Afghanistan.